Welcome to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger, the show where we watch an episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and then we talk about probably the show that we just watched for a little while, and not Titanfall, right? Which I'm sure is what we all secretly want to talk about.
I don't want to secretly talk about Titanfall, but I'm sure the pair of you do.
Okay. This is episode number 26, and we'll be watching the episode Gung Ho.
It's got an exclamation mark.
Sorry. Gung Ho!
That's better.
But before I introduce our guest, I would like to remind you that you can find us at www.rangerdangerpodcast.com. We're at RangerDcast on Twitter. You can send us an email at rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. Now,
iTunes.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Nice save. Now, our guest today is a writer for geekofoz.com.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
We will put a link in the show notes. And is also the first of our guests to share a name with an original Power Ranger.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Billy.
Yay!
Yeah.
Go Power Rangers!
That is the appropriate response to being welcome to the show. So, this is your first time on the show. What was your first experience with Power Rangers, Billy?
Watching it when I was quite young.
Yeah. How young are we talking?
God, I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
So, when did Power Rangers?
93, I think.
So, I'm thinking, 17 years ago now?
Okay.
So, wow, yeah, 15.
Nice.
15-ish. Yes.
So, you're watching it from about the beginning in Australia?
Yeah, because I remember getting the videos. I do have the
VHS?
I have the first couple of episodes on VHS.
I have a few VHS.
I also have a few VHS.
Wow, we're so old.
No, but I have an excuse. My original Power Rangers VHS that I have, I bought when I was like 16 at a school fete.
Oh, I see. So it was retro.
I've got VHS from like in space that I got when that was contemporary.
Nice.
I'm not as old as you old
Very
people.
nice. I was quite jealous though because all my friends had the toys and I wasn't allowed to have the toys.
Oh, was it a violent thing?
No. Just like my parents bought me out the toys.
Okay.
Turtles and whatnot.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
You kind of want the Turtles and the Morphin Power Rangers.
Damn straight. I was certainly of that persuasion. I had a lot of Ninja Turtles.
I
wasn't a Ninja Turtles person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should watch the new series. It's good.
I haven't seen the new season. Maybe we should just stop this podcast and start watching Ninja Turtles instead.
My understanding is that there is as much Ninja Turtles recorded media as Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
So absolutely. it's not gonna speed this up for us.
No,
I did think it was pretty cool that I knew that it was pre-recorded, and then pre-recorded information from Japan and whatnot. And the live outside of the Power Rangers costume stuff was the only thing that was recorded.
American.
Yeah, and then when I told my friends, they were like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" I was like,
"Yeah." So you got to be that person who shattered the dreams and hopes of.
I don't know about shattered. I think maybe cultured them.
Yeah, I guess there's different ways of framing that.
We've been that person for a couple of people.
We have been, yeah.
But it's like, can't you tell? The people in costume are skinny. Why are you skinny?
It's important to remember that, when I first watched it, I was 7 years old, so I was an idiot.
My media literacy was not as advanced.
Yeah.
And when would you say the last time you've watched Power Rangers is? Like the most recent time?
Recently? Well, see, as I explained to Matt, I haven't seen much of the non-Mighty Morphin era.
Yep.
So it's probably just flashing back to watching Mighty Morphin era. I think I watched the movie, the non-canonical movie, I think at least 2 years ago.
I think I watched it about then.
Randomly,
it's a good one to pick off the shelf because you don't have to select an episode or anything. It's just there. You can just throw it in.
Yeah.
And it's campy and crazy and big enough that people who aren't into Power Rangers can enjoy it for its ridiculousness.
It's pretty great.
I did see some things. I used to see ads for the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Where they'd bring back an old Power Ranger and they'd bring back Pink Power Ranger, but she's evil.
Yeah.
And it's but evil in person, not in costume, sort of thing. Or wait, why is Tommy back but older?
He comes back a lot. That's a
he never goes away.
Yeah. And when you hear something in the news about the cast members, it's like, okay, I'll check out Power Rangers today.
Yeah.
It's like when the guy who played Billy, makes some sort of comment, or one of the guys that was in a karate competition in real life or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, Jason David Frank, who plays Tommy in particular, seems to be constantly seeking to be newsworthy in some way. Like, he broke the Guinness World Record for most boards punched in...
While in free fall, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like when you read something like that in the news, it's like, oh, why can't you get Power Rangers?
Yeah, I should go back and watch that show again.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty, so do we have something to discuss before we hit the episode today, Michael?
We actually got an email this week.
Oh my god, an email.
Which is exciting because so far the only email prior to that we'd received was from someone we knew.
Yeah, so this is not someone we knew.
So this is not someone we knew.
This is profoundly exciting.
Matt, I'll let you read it because I think you will be touched.
Oh, that's nice. So I'm just going to read it out.
Yeah, just read it out. Just stop at the end of that first paragraph.
Okay, sure. It says, "Hi, my name is Sean Samuels." Hello, Sean. That was me. He didn't say hello, Sean. No. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I think your show is amazing and hysterical. Oh, that's very nice. I listen in every Wednesday morning, Eastern Standard Time. I was hoping if your group didn't mind if on the next available episode I could get a shout-out from you guys and answer at least one question on the show. Well, you can absolutely have a shout-out, Sean. It would mean so much to me, he says. Okay.
I guess that's a shout-out to Sean.
That is definitely a shout-out to you, Sean.
Yep. Now, he's asked us 2 questions.
Yes.
The first question we actually answered on the show already. It was of the Green with Evil group, which would be which Power Ranger?
Oh, yeah.
And we answered that being slightly racist on our own. We managed to do that.
Yeah.
So the other one is, what was your funniest or most awkward experience you had as a kid regarding Power Rangers?
Oh,
would yours be punching your grandmother?
That would probably top my list, yeah. So we've talked about on the show how being very little when I was, I think it was probably even younger than 7, I think it was probably closer to 5. And I playfully but probably quite firmly punched my grandmother in a fit of Power Rangers.
Lovely.
Yeah, which is why I was allowed to watch violent media for a little while, because I assaulted my grandmother.
So that seems like a reasonable kind of restriction for your parents to have placed on you.
Yeah, that was probably fair. Everything else, I think, was probably pretty positive. Like we've discussed how I had some Power Rangers toys and used to play Power Rangers a lot in the schoolyard, but nothing ever went wrong, surprisingly. Everything was pretty positive.
I don't remember having kind of a Power Rangers experience in my childhood. I mentioned last week or the week before going to Fox Studios,
yes,
and crying because the photos were ruined.
Yeah,
I know, right? But that's kind of. I don't really remember anything else other than that. I had lots of awkward experiences as a 22-year-old explaining to people that I do a podcast about Power Rangers.
Would you just to share one of those? Because I haven't had really any of that yet.
Oh, just. So, what are you doing this weekend, Michael? Oh, I'm recording an episode of the podcast. Oh, do you do a podcast? What's that podcast about? Oh, we watch episodes of Power Rangers. Power Rangers? Yeah, Power Rangers? Oh. And then people kind of back away.
Yeah, run away.
Yeah, I had something similar, and someone asked me, so are you going to get dressed up as the Pink Ranger?
Do they understand it's an audio podcast?
I know. I explained that. So podcast is audio.
Yeah.
That's pretty... Oh.
Did you have any embarrassing Power Rangers from your childhood?
Not really. I mean, just the whole, saying, go, go, Power Rangers, at an awkward moment.
There's no awkward time to say that. That's always appropriate. Any situation.
I find it appropriate, but then, you get some people looking at you like,
yeah.
So thank you very much for that question, Sean.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
Go, Sean!
Go, Sean, indeed. We really appreciate you sending an email.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you can see from my incredible excitement about receiving an email, we highly encourage you to send us emails.
Anyone else, if you send us an email, you will get mentioned on the show, so please do that.
Yeah.
Go emails!
I just wanted to mention a couple of other things before we get on to Gung Ho.
Yeah.
The first is that a video came out...
You didn't say it.
Gung Ho!
There we go.
The first is that a video was released, I think this week or last week, of a guy who I think is Norwegian named Pelek doing all of the Power Rangers themes as a medley.
Yeah. So Pelek is he's a metal singer? Yeah,
he has... I don't know if that's his name or if that's the name of the band.
I think that's the name of him as a metal singer.
Right.
It's like his stage name. He has an incredible vocal range. He's a very talented performer.
And kind of... It was funny watching that. I've seen it maybe 5 times this week.
Yeah, I've watched it more than I should.
But it's really nice how the first kind of span of things all just flow into each other.
Yeah.
mostly because they're all just variations on Go-Go Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've noticed is I have watched some Super Megaforce this week, or some regular Megaforce.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that maybe next week because that's kind of a bigger thing that we've got time for.
Yep.
But they've gone back to that.
Go-Go Power Rangers.
So that's kind of the basis of the theme, and then there's...
It definitely gives the video a nice sort of circular, it all sort of comes back around, because it does hit points where the theme becomes like a rap song.
Yep.
And some other things that just sound very strange.
Yeah, it's...
Go-Go Power Ranger rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the themes are pretty good. Some of them I haven't heard in a long time, and listening to them got me pumped.
Yeah, I think
that Lightspeed Rescue theme, that's pretty good.
Oh, now I've got the turtle rap in my head. Yeah, I think it goes to show that the themes are probably one of the best parts of the show.
That's
something about it just gets you jacked about watching the show.
Which is why we'll all mouth along to After 10,000 Years I'm Free in a second.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that, as you mentioned in the intro, Billy is our first guest to share a name with an original Power Ranger.
Yeah.
You're not our first guest to share their name with a Power Ranger.
Full stop.
There's an Ashley in space.
Yep.
And there will be a Power Ranger called Lauren coming up very far in the future.
Okay.
But there's never been a Power Ranger called Matthew or Michael.
That's really surprising. There's been like 500 Power Rangers.
And those two names have been basically at the top of the popular name charts for...
Matthew and Michael an standard American name?
They've been basically at the top of the popular name charts for the last 2 decades, more or less.
Because this is what I was just assuming, they base it on most popular American name.
Yeah. Some of them have very strange names. Especially once we go further into
like Xander with an X.
Wasn't there a series with all Aussies?
There are several series with Australian and New Zealand actors. Once we hit, I don't know which season, they moved production to New Zealand because it's cheap to film there. And so there was a period where they were just hiring local Australian and New Zealand actors because they were local and cheap. But these days, they still film in New Zealand, but they ship Americans out to do it.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It is sad. Poor Australian actors not being able to be on Power Rangers.
I know, right?
I heard that
Easy pride.
There was the actor who played the Yellow Ranger in RPM, I believe, is going on to play the lead role in iZombie.
Yes, I believe it's RPM. That sounds right.
Yeah.
iZombie is in comic?
Yeah, yes. They're doing an adaptation of that as a show. I've heard that the acting is quite loosely
But he's
adapted.
also by Veronica Mars's Rob I I'm hopeful.
I like Rob Thomas.
The musician or the writer?
The writer, but that's not a well-worn joke.
I also like the musician. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay. Shall we go watch the episode?
Let's go watch Gung Ho.
Gung Ho!
Gung Ho. I think we're all gung ho for Gung Ho.
All right,
I'm so glad you guys have paid for this podcast. Otherwise, I feel terrible about that joke.
All right, so we're going to go watch an episode. You can too.
Yeah. You can buy the DVDs or you can download it from somewhere, preferably
it's available on Netflix or possibly Amazon Prime, whichever one of those. I don't know. I have to find out.
Yeah, just do your own looking, guys. Come on. We provide an hour's worth of podcasting.
We don't have either of those things down in Australia, so we can't do the research ourselves.
Yeah.
Come on, teenagers with attitude.
Yeah, use your attitude to download some Power Rangers.
Yeah, we're going to go watch the episode, and we'll be back in a sec.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And welcome back. We just watched episode number 26 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
Gung
entitled
Gung Ho!
There we go. Very nice. So we learned that the title of the episode actually means teamwork, which is the episode title of a previous episode.
Yes.
Which is also about teamwork.
What language does it mean teamwork in?
Chinese, I believe.
I don't know if that's actually a thing or not.
I don't know, but it's interesting that they're basically just rehashing themes of old episodes, and I think it's okay if they just change what language the episode title is in.
Look, let's be honest. We're going to sit through so many episodes about teamwork in this podcast, by which I mean basically everyone. I feel like we're going to have to just get used to that.
Most likely. So should we just go from the top and discuss the episode?
It does actually mean it actually means work together.
Wow, work together. There we
I
go.
just googled it. It's an an American anglicised pronunciation of Gung Ho, which means it's 2 words, gong, which is work, and hey means together.
That's almost impressive for this show.
That is. I'm surprised they didn't just make it up. Someone had to, find that out. Good work, Power Rangers writing stuff.
Woo! So we open in the gym/juice bar, as we always do. The Team Ninja finals are on this Saturday.
Yes. Now, despite the fact that we see what the Team Ninja finals are at the end, I still don't know what it is.
No, it's some sort of
competition,
fighting martial arts competition, I guess.
Just something to pass the time in Angel Grove.
Yeah.
There's lots of fighting competitions.
Like, who gets to enter? Because it seems like Bulk, who's dressed in his, pimp bookie...
Pimp Safari outfit.
Pink Safari outfit, has, purchased some ringers.
He's hired some legitimate ninjas.
Yeah. Which I didn't realise there was a market for that. I didn't realise you could look it up in the yellow pages and be like, I need some ninjas fast so I can win. I guess there's prize money?
Yeah. Oh, well, you only see 2 teams as well.
Yeah, that's right. So was it just organised between those 2?
So anyway, Jason and Tommy
are
not working together.
They're both very much I'm the bigger alpha male than you.
Yeah. Those guys. Which is strange because they were working very well together the previous episode. It seemed very contrived all of a sudden, but okay.
They're just not good at it. So they do a bit of, they're sparring to practice, and each one of them kind of needs to have a bigger dick than the other one.
Yes.
It's interesting though that I think those 2 actually kind of earned their money this episode because they spent a lot of time doing pretty reasonably impressive martial arts stuff for a good chunk of the episode.
Look, I'm not a ninja expert, but I'm pretty sure none of what they do is ninjutsu.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just kind of your standard martial arts.
Yeah.
But it is pretty impressive, and there's some jumping and some flipping and some hitting things with sticks.
Yeah. There's
all you want from martial arts, So then, Bulk brings in his 2 rear ninjas.
Yeah.
And they do some definitely not ninjutsu as well.
But it looks a little bit...
dressed like ninjas.
Yeah, so that makes it ninjutsu.
They're dressed like proper ninjas with all you can see are their eyes and they're in black.
It really does make it seem like Bulk and Skull have imported some ninjas from feudal Japan.
They didn't just get some of their punk friends to dress as ninjas.
Yeah.
They called Japanese ninjas over somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the film?
Yes.
No.
The time-traveling one?
Yes.
I think what Bulk and Skull must have done is use that weird time-traveling staff thing.
And just bring some ninjas from feudal Japan.
Yeah, I think... Because you know how they used to have those 2, hangers-on in their posse that we never seen anymore?
They swapped them for 2 ninjas.
They swapped them for 2 ninjas, so now...
There's
those
2
people
punks in feudal Japan.
That's right.
Oh,
man, we have to watch that movie someday. It's really good. You'll love it.
That means it's dreadful, doesn't it?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's my favourite of the two. It's definitely not the best, but it's my favourite.
It's very lighthearted compared to the first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very much less melodramatic.
So anyway, Super Putties.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This
They
is
just
exciting.
came out of nowhere.
Well, last week we saw Rita harvest the Super Putty.
Oh, sorry, before we get to that when the ninjas are fighting, and then Billy says that they're very proficient, and then Zach says, yeah, and they're good. I think that's the first, well-delivered and well-written comedy line of the show.
Look, it's like a classic joke.
Yeah.
There's nothing original about the structure of it. But
it made us laugh, though.
But for this show, it was
it's a high bar of comedy.
I'm still laughing just thinking about it. Because normally the joke is hey, that Billy, what a dork, he doesn't know what's going on. And this it makes Zach a bit funnier.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
So
I think we laugh so hard to sort of expected. We don't expect to laugh with the show ever, only ever at the show.
So Super Putties.
Yes.
Rita and Finster and basically the whole gang are there.
Yeah, I was super surprised to see this Super Putty thing come back from last week. I just expected it to be dropped.
No,
all the other storylines in the show.
This is and I think it really helped this episode. I think it because we weren't working from scratch again.
Yeah.
We kind of got to jump straight into the Super Putties and
have a bit more content.
Yeah, and that was quite exciting. So Super Putties are basically just regular putties, but with big hands.
Yes, I noticed that.
Were their belt buckles a bit different?
I think there's something different. So some of them have got like just big hands.
Yeah.
One of them's got like a wrecking ball hand,
Yeah.
like just a big sphere on the end of his fist.
Yeah.
And basically, they're much stronger than regular putties.
Does that mean from now on the putties are going to be super putties?
I believe that is true.
Yes.
That's
'Cause
interesting.
don't some of them have swords as hands as well?
Yeah, they do. Well, as far as I'm aware, they have like malleable hands that they can change into different forms.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
So they demonstrate their newfound powers by beating up Kimberly and Trini at a park.
Unmorphed.
Morphed.
Basically,
I do like that the ones, as I've mentioned, like, you know, the original stuff, the stock footage.
Yeah.
The stuff that they film now, it's like, wow, those putties got a bit fat. As
There's-
opposed to the stock footage where they're thin as twigs.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in like the quality of the suits even and fighting ability and
there's a brief close-up on one of the super
Red
putties in
eyes.
the American footage
Yeah.
when we're watching these. And they look dreadful. Like,
Yeah.
you can see the dude's eyes
yeah.
under the mask.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It doesn't hold up.
But so, yeah, they proved their strength by beating up two teenage girls.
Yeah.
But hey, Kimberly and Trini, they had Gung Ho!
They did have gun. It didn't work out for
Didn't
them.
work for them.
No.
Teamwork failed.
So all the boys come to rescue them, but even that doesn't really help.
I like how Billy was like, I'll look after Trini. You
Yeah.
fight, Kimberly.
Billy does go straight for Trini, which lends credence to whoever it is' theory that those two are a thing.
Me?
Was it you?
I think it was me.
He's so the medic of the group.
He is. Yeah.
He's the medic.
So they all have to go to regroup and go back to the command center.
Yeah.
And Zordon says, look, the rest of you go hold them off.
Yeah.
Jason and Tommy, you guys are going to learn to work fucking together, okay?
So you can find these new weapons.
Go on a quest to somewhere. I've given you each a half of a map.
Yeah.
Because, surprise, there's another thing I've been holding out this whole time. I knew about, but I decided you couldn't have yet.
So, you know, go and fight those, go and quest.
New toy. Cough.
Yeah.
So they go off and quest.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we get a pretty great fight scene between the remaining 4 Rangers and the Super Putties,
Stock footage.
which does include some claymation.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the
Putties
claymation.
kind of they fall apart.
Yeah, when they're being hurt too badly, they crumble into bits and then reform as 2 putties.
Yes.
But it's
No,
this,
or was it just... I think it was just reforming as themselves.
it was, at least one of them reformed into 2 putties, like a
Okay.
Hydra type thing.
But
I did like it. Just straight away reminded me of that reformation sequence. It reminded me of I don't know if you guys have seen it, Jason and the
Yeah.
Argonauts.
I haven't.
yeah, the Harryhausen style kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny because look, it's not great claymation. It was definitely done with like some great Play-Doh.
Yeah.
But it was kind of nice to see the show trying something else, and
Yes.
Yeah. I think we all went, oh,
To
that's
show that
new.
it's like they are actually putties.
yeah, because it was. I mean, look, in the context of the show, you definitely go, that looks completely different, and is
Yeah.
clearly a shot that they used 3 times, and. But yeah, it was nice to see something different.
And I think, too, it helps remind you and kids that these aren't people that the
Yes.
Power Rangers are wailing on all the time. They're
Every
just
time
like
the Power
things.
Rangers destroy it, it's not a dude in a suit. It's a horrible monster.
Yeah.
Kids.
And it's interesting, too, that the implication that the putties have to be held off, like putties would do something else if they were just left to their own devices.
Yeah, well, because they teleport away from these putties in the park.
Yeah.
Like, they could go,
And do something to kids in the park.
Yeah, they could. I don't know that they'd
Bop
kill
them on the head
someone,
with- They just knock them out or something.
but we've never seen them do anything particularly threatening.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they only ever attack Power Rangers. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if they know how to do anything else.
No. Well, they attack stop. They attack a factory to draw
Yeah.
Power Rangers out.
An abandoned factory. They don't want to hurt anyone.
No. It's always an abandoned factory.
Don't want things to get out of hand.
So while that fight scene is going on, Jason and Tommy are off doing their quest.
Yeah.
Which basically is they do some arguing. Then all of a sudden they're there. It's not a very long quest.
No. It's like, I found a rock. Oh, cool. It's up there where we should go.
Yeah.
And basically, at the point we catch up with them, they're fighting a bit and they have to climb a hill.
Yeah.
That's the end of their quest.
Yeah.
Which raises the question of why Zordon didn't just teleport them to the top of the hill.
Well, I was going to say though, the walking up there, it was the first sequence of the shield swap.
Yes, that's
yeah, I
exciting.
think that's kind of a big deal, isn't it? I didn't expect to see it in this episode, but I think everyone sort of fondly remembers that moment where we found out that Tommy could transfer his shield to people.
So before we get to that,
yeah,
they see at the top there's like a table basically, but it's got statues of all their animals on it.
Yeah,
it's clearly what they were sent for. So they're like, we'll have to go up there.
Yeah,
and they start going up there, and all of a sudden, this like brachiosaur, dragon, dinosaur monster.
Yeah.
Who is giant and Zord-sized.
And is also like a Zord. It's not a creature, it's a robot.
Starts shooting fireballs at them and making rocks slide down the mountain.
He's the protector of that table.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they try to go up separately, with each other, but not helping each other. That doesn't work because they got to learn teamwork.
Yeah.
Gung Ho.
So they say, Jason says, look, I'm faster than you are, so I'll go up the mountain. But you're stronger than I am, so you hold this thing off.
I think he says you're better with swords.
Yeah, he does. And he passes the power sword to Tommy.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It is nice.
And Tommy says, look, you're going up, take my shield. And he grabs Jason's hand and he puts it on the shield, and all of a sudden the shield is on Jason.
Yes.
And
touch my heart.
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Cool.
Although Tommy looks super weird without the shield.
Yeah, it's odd seeing him like that. Yeah. He feels really naked.
Jason looks fine with the shield on. It doesn't look out of place.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's designed to go over that sort of uniform.
Yeah. But because we haven't ever seen Tommy without it, he looks bare.
Yeah.
And he's still got like the gold cuffs and the gold kind of patches on his costume.
I think on the back of his costume is a bit of a gold patch.
Yeah, so it looks strange without the big shield.
Yeah.
But then, Tommy uses the sword to hold Titanis off.
He crosses swords and, red and green lasers shoot out of it.
Yeah, so when Jason said you're better at swords, he clearly meant you're better at making swords shoot out lasers.
Which clearly is better at swords.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't do that, so I'm not very good at swords. Anyone who could do that, I would comfortably deem as better than me at swords.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did think, though, at one point, it's like, just call the Dragon Zord out.
Yeah, you guys have giant monster robots to fight this giant
Dragon
monster.
Zord can take on this Loch Ness Monster Zord.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happens, though. So, Jason makes it up to the top.
Yeah.
He pops it open, and we see kind of like mechanical gun slingshot things.
Yeah, they're definitely electronic slingshots.
Yeah. That very definitely all just have Zayu Ranger written on them.
They do too.
Yeah.
It's the most obvious thing. Zayu Ranger is the Japanese series that was turned into Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So
And like
totally stock footage.
when we see the Japanese morphers have Zayu Ranger written around them, but we never see the Japanese morphers
Up close.
because when they're holding the morphers, they're the American actors, whereas these have got it written on the side of the gun.
Yeah.
And it's there for a couple of seconds.
I'm surprised they didn't try and cover it and has on be like, these are your Zayu guns.
Yeah.
That would be, no.
Use them to become the Zayu Rangers or something.
No, we don't want to confuse the brand.
Yeah.
No.
So they get those, they teleport back. Well, we don't see them teleport back, but they get back somehow.
Yeah.
Get to the factory ASAP.
They throw the gun, they're called the Thunder Slingers,
Are
I
they?
believe.
Is that ever mentioned, or did you
I
just
don't
look
think
that
that's mentioned in the show. I'm pretty sure that's just a thing that I'm aware of.
up? Okay. Thunderslingers.
I think
love
that's
it.
true. I'll have to look that up and
It's a pretty
correct
rad
myself
name.
if I'm wrong. Because, they sling thunder.
I guess.
Yeah.
Loosely.
Well, thunder in the sense of lightning.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So those just straight up demolish the Super Putties.
Yeah.
Turns them to dust.
Yeah, like instantly, one shot. Now this is yet another thing that Zordon has just been. If they destroy the Super Putties in one shot, you know how much. Whoa.
Yeah, there's thunder here.
Yeah, that's the Thunder Slingers.
Yeah. Heyo.
Do you know how much effort they've gone to destroy putties.
Yeah.
We've seen like a 5-minute putty fight sequence once a week or so.
Yeah.
If they'd had these things like that, straight away gone, disappeared. No. Zordon just... Who knows what Zordon's got? Zordon's probably got nukes somewhere.
Yeah.
I think Zordon is clearly some sort of
Zord.
master manipulator who has all of these things that he just waits... Because, like, this whole quest thing was clearly invented by Zordon.
He had a map ready.
He had a map ready. He had, like, the strange statue things.
It's that whole, like, wait, you haven't learned enough experience to get to this.
Yeah, he's such a dick.
Is it possible he's just, like, he's millennia old?
Yeah.
Is it possible he's just got Alzheimer's? And, like, he didn't remember the Thunderslingers until he was like, if only we had something to destroy stronger putties.
And then
oh,
shit.
Oh, crap.
Is it possible he just has... And then Alpha was like, what about the Thunderslingers? And Zordon was like, yes, I've been saving those until they were necessary. Go on a quest.
Yes.
It could be the whole, like, wait, I'll give you all the keys to the kingdom, so you're going to be super cocky. It could be that as well.
Yeah, I understand that he thinks he's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's also super self-righteous. Like, these people are trying to save the world. Give them the stuff that they need.
Zordon, help us.
Yeah. They probably may have died at this point. Like, it's possible.
So, that's the end of the Power Rangers segment of this episode.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. No Megazord, no Zords at all.
Except for Titanus.
Yes.
Who is identified by Jason by name, despite him never saying his name.
Yes.
Because he does go like... He makes, like, noises. And so, what is it Zordon says? Zordon says, like, this was just a test.
Yeah.
Titanus is a valuable ally and friend.
Yeah.
So, I could have just given those to you. You didn't have to go through that whole ordeal. But
and also, he may have killed you, so good work on passing the test. Because he would have felt super bad if he'd murdered you with his fireballs.
I'm curious how you can be a valuable ally with like a giant robot Zord monster. Although this is interesting because this one Titanus definitely has like a brain and can operate independently.
Yeah.
Whereas we don't necessarily know that the other Zords can
do that. Yeah. So, who of us here was thinking that they'd get Titanus as a Zord in a Zord battle by the end of the episode?
I was absolutely thinking that as soon as the Super Putties were defeated, Rita would send down a monster, and we'd get the Titanus carry
I thought
Zord.
she'd make the Super Putties big.
Yeah, I assumed that Titanus would be the thing that destroys the Super Putties.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, he was just there.
He was just guarding the Thunderslingers.
He was just hanging out with the Thunderslingers. It seems weird for them to blow their load of two grand, awesome new things.
At once.
and
Titanus
the
Thunderslingers.
You need to meet this out, guys. You have 300 fucking episodes to get through.
I mean, we all know that Titanus kind of becomes a part of the Megazord and can combine with the Megazord 4. Yeah. And actually, now they've released photos of a legacy Titanus that is the scale of the Dragon Zord and the Megazord.
Nice.
And is like $200 or $300.
Of course, because it would be huge.
Because it's huge. But, man, it's tempting. But so, after we go back to the Ninja Finals, or the Team Ninja Finals.
And now, the boys are dressed as ninjas.
Which apparently means black high-waisted pants and no shirts.
And they're coloured
headbands.
It's
good to see them with the boys taking their shirt off a bit, because Kimberly gets around in her tights quite a bit. It's good to share the sex appeal love around. It's good for everyone, I think.
Good for everyone.
I don't know that it was good for me, but that's okay. I definitely did not.
It's good for me.
Yeah.
Can I ask, this is like, which of those two do you find more attractive?
Jason.
Okay.
I think it's because Tommy
has a mullet.
Yeah,
is that right?
I'm not a fan of the mullet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm sure at the time it was super cool.
Yeah.
So it was the 90s.
I don't know that that's true.
I like him with shorter hair.
That's interesting.
Yeah, except now that he's all, old.
He is a little...
And trying to hang out with the young Power Rangers.
Yeah, he's a little worn, I think.
I read he's a doctor now on the show.
Yeah.
It was
a professor doctor, not a doctor.
Not like a science medicine doctor.
Yeah, he's like like fossils and stuff, because of dinosaurs.
Paleontology.
Yeah, there we go.
Fossils. I'm a doctor in fossils and stuff.
So he's Ross.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, he has extensive experience with robots shaped like dinosaurs.
True.
So I think that counts as...
And for the first little while...
A degree in paleontology.
He's a super nerd, and it's like, that is not consistent with the character previously.
Like, even I'm willing to accept that Tommy grew up and became like a professor.
Yeah.
Right? But there's no way he became a dork, right? So we get some kung fu. Now, for all the shit we get about teamwork this week, 4 of the 5 rounds in this competition
involve no teamwork.
Are one-on-one.
It's only the last one.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting it all to be 2-on-2 fights. Maybe like a Jason versus Tommy demo fight.
Well, Billy even says it's like, you get bonus points for coordination. It's like,
there's no chance to coordinate, so that's a rigged system.
This sequence goes on for quite a while. And there's some, some flips and some jumps and some punches. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. What did you guys think?
I did.
It
I
was
enjoyed
pretty
it.
cool.
It was pretty cool.
Sorry about that, guys. We had to stop all of Matt's things from soaking wet because it's pouring with rain.
Freak thunderstorm during the podcast.
Yeah. Which is exciting. So
It was the Thunderzord.
Yes.
oh no, we're not going to get to them for years yet.
Oh, no. Thunder things.
Thunder Slingers.
Thunder Slingers. So anyway, we were talking about the Team Ninja finals.
Yep.
And Jason and Tommy basically clearly win.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit where they say like the judges will now decide who wins,
And it's like took 30 seconds.
and then instantly Ernie's bringing the trophy over. I like that there's one trophy for the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't get 2 trophies, even though it's a team-only competition.
I did like how they kept with the theme that Tommy's better at swords in the match because Tommy did
The sword thing.
yes.
Yeah.
The wooden sword. Nice.
Yeah.
Then
It was super fun to watch, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's some pretty impressive martial arts, which is...
I thought we were going to get the Ringer ninjas unmasked.
Yeah, but apparently, nope, they will remain a mystery forever.
See, I was going to say, I actually thought near the end of it was going to be like, they want readers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But no, they're just ringers.
Vulcan Skull in cahoots with the reader.
yeah, no, that's far too complicated for this show.
It is, but it would make sense because Bulk and Skull are about as intelligent and effective as readers are.
I was more like, they're just playing along with Bulk and Skull.
Oh, I see.
Actually,
Monsters.
dodgy things.
Yeah.
No. And then, so Bulk says, get our ninja some water. And Skull goes and gets a bucket and trips, and the water ends up all over Bulk.
Did he trip though, or did Kimberly stick her foot out and trip him?
Ooh,
She was next to him.
Dun dun dun. I don't think that would be in Kimberly's style.
No.
If it was Jason would have done that.
Yeah, Jason's a dick.
Yeah. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Bulk has water all over him. Yay.
Ha 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 ha. And
Bulk takes losing pretty well.
Yeah,
Because I'm assuming that he had a pretty big investment in hiring these ninjas and was expecting a prize money return.
Usually he gets the shits and will rush at them and then somehow trip and fall.
Yeah. Whereas with this, he was pretty cool about it.
It's
He's
just
like,
like-
yeah, I lost. Go get some water for our dudes. And he gets punished for that.
Yeah.
For his humility and grace in defeat.
There is no winning for Bulk.
No, whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's the end of the episode.
That's it.
Nice.
This was pretty good. This felt for the first time like the thematic structure of the episode in the way I imagine it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a problem and their Power Ranger experience has to help them overcome it.
It mirrors their personal
Yeah.
experience, yeah.
Although in this case, it's Zordon literally watching them and deciding that they need help.
He's such a voyeur.
He is. Both of them, Rita and Zordon.
They just watch
Everything.
We see in this episode, Zordon has footage of them making the putties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
So if both of them can constantly see what the others are doing, how is there any, fight at all?
Yeah. Because they're both idiots.
yes.
One's a senile old man, and one is a crazy old lady.
Oh, dear. So that's Power Rangers.
Yeah. That just sums up the whole thing, I think.
Yeah. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to say about this one?
I don't know. That's good.
I enjoyed it.
I had a good time. Yeah.
Flashback.
We got Titanus, which is cool.
Yep. And hopefully, I imagine we'll start seeing more of him now that he's a thing.
You
I
think
kind of
so.
now want to buy the toys, but I'm like, no.
Resist.
No, resist.
And we got the cool shield swapping moment,
Yep.
which is cool.
Yes, because I'm assuming that's going to happen now more often.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty rare. But
I
don't
know
know.
what happens, when Tommy loses his powers.
Dun,
In
dun,
the
dun.
future.
That's
That's a long way away.
Well, I guess we'll get to that as well.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with Wheel of Misfortune.
Oh my god.
Which, look, I'm hoping that the Rangers get zapped to a board game dimension.
Oh, it's hosted by John Burgess. That would be fantastic.
Lovely.
Oh, dear. So we'll be back with that.
Yep.
Billy, will you be back with us?
Yes, I will.
That's exciting.
Okay. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening, guys. Remember, send us an email because we love them.
Yeah, and thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.